Joe Rogan Podcast. Check it out.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan Podcast by night, all day.
Tell us how this all started.
You know, Joe, I'm a firm believer that everything in this world needs organization. And as a man coming from a Christian faith and a Christian background, I figured that there is no better way for me to provide support and start my senior project than within my church. So I began as security once a vacancy for that spot opened up.
All you had done essentially was stand up for your beliefs, your morals, your ethics, and the law.
Yes, exactly. Essentially nothing but standing on morals and principles and the law, I guess, not to that extent. But as soon as I joined the team, I had to do the mandatory onboarding, which, you know, we have training on a multitude of things that can possibly happen. All hopes that they don't happen, but just in preparation, such things as somebody running rampant in the parking lot. You know, we have a large elderly community, and sometimes they're not the best behind the wheel, so we need to prepare ourselves for that. Or if somebody from the children's ministry runs out, just anything like that. So we need to be prepared mentally and physically. And I'll have some receipts put up on the screen to show you how we went about doing that.
So just directing the traffic, making sure everybody's leaving out in their lines is organized.
This doesn't necessarily mean that you would have to use them. You were just going to be trained in them.
Oh, no.
Yes, exactly. I mean, some procedures, like what we would do if there was an active shooter, I pray that we never have to do anything like that, but just knowing how to do it is the important part.
Give it effective? Like, was there any actionable information?
No, absolutely. And I have an anecdote just for that. This year when we were putting up our Easter egg hunt, I have a clip put up right here. But yeah, we have a lot of children. We have like 50 to 60 children in our youth ministry.
That's a lot of people. That's a lot of people.
Exactly. So, you know, trying to set up all the eggs, you know, would have been extremely difficult if during my training I didn't have to get an understanding of the acres that our church is built on. So that was something I was extremely grateful for and found very effective.
All right, here you can see for our senior project, we're just setting up the eggs, setting up the decorations for our Easter celebration. And, you know, just building day by day.
Is there anything else you're concerned about before we wrap this up that you want to talk about?
Yeah, you know, I'll just kind of end off by summarizing, you know, what I gained from this situation. And the number one thing I'll say is patience. You know, whether that's dealing with somebody in a parking lot that just doesn't want to listen, or an 8-year-old child running around in a youth ministry that just refuses to sit down. I've had to learn to be patient with people. And I've had to learn to not judge people off their actions because you never know what the underlying features are to cause them to act like that. So I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity. And this opportunity that I will continue to do and hopefully continue to flourish in.
Fuck. Wow. Well, listen, John, I really appreciate your time, and thank you, and thank you for your story. All right. Bye, everybody.